What if I told you there's a version of chess where checkmate doesn't even matter? That's right. I'm Seth, one of the top Racing Kings players on Lee Chess. Check me out. And I'm going to show you why this variant deserves the attention it does. All right, so right here we have the Racing Kings board. That's how it's set up. You'll notice no pawns. The goal is for white to get, or black, to get their king to the 8th rank first. So if we see something like this, then white would win because white's king got to the 8th rank first. So I'm just going to go over some rules and whatnot and explain kind of the point of the game. So one of the things that kind of messes with everyone, kind of throws them off a little bit, is that there are no checks. You'll notice I can't capture this bishop on c1. If I capture the bishop, it would be check. So we can't do that. No checks are allowed. It also means that if I do something like this, and I get my king on this diagonal, the rooks can't move because it would be check. And as we see, it won't let the rook move. So that's kind of really the main rule about racing kings: no check, and the first king to make it to the 8th rank wins. Now I will. There's a little nuance to that. So if white king goes to gets to the 8th rank, and black's king can also, this would be a draw. Um, they have they have to include this so that white isn't completely overpowered by being able to move first. Um, so yeah, Racing Kings in a nutshell is basically no checks, and first king to the 8th rank wins. It's kind of what it is. So we're gonna talk about some initial positioning. We'll talk about some files. There's four main openings. You've got bishop d4. This is really my favorite one. You've got knight capture d2. This is a really positional game that involves a lot of trades and is really drawish. So that's, people tend to shy away from that one. King g3. This is definitely the most common opening. I mean, it's when you start learning Racing Kings, it's the first thing you kind of learn. And then the other one is King h3, which really only really good players like myself and others play. I really don't even play King H3 that often, just because it's super drawish, and when you study that, you'll find out. But yeah, definitely there's a big three of openings, and it's King G3, Knight capture C2, and Bishop D4. So we'll talk about a little starting position in each. We'll just go ahead and start with Bishop D4. So with Bishop D4, a lot of the most common I would see after that is Bishop B4, just symmetry. We move this bishop so that the knight can't take it, just so we can keep our pieces on the board, and it does a really good job. Well, it does a good job of controlling these two files. So a standard line we'll see this. This is a common setup from white right here. Uh, as you can see, I mean, King F4 it's been played 184,000 times. There's not that many arcade games. From here, you could see Queen H6 would be the most common, or King E5, and then you get into it from there. I mean, Queen H8 is a move. Rook G6 and Rook G8 are moves. Definitely not as good. I mean, this is kind of just the initial setup you want as white in a Bishop D4 opening. So then we also got knight capture c2, and there's a few ways you can go with that, right? Because black can choose to capture, or they can capture the bishop back in the knight c2 symmetry. And then, I mean, white has some options too. White can capture, or white can capture the queen. Typically, you'll see something like this, something like something like this, either knight there or rook there, and you just kind of play it from there. And yeah, that's kind of what you get out of that knight captures, or if the rook captures on c2 line. I mean, you can also go After that, I mean, you can go rook g6, you can go rook f5. I mean, you can go rook g4, try to set up knight to knight d4, excuse me. You know, there's a lot of moves you can make in the opening that aren't losing. Um, and after okay, if we have rook after c2, we've got bishop e1, we've got bishop d4, we've got bishop h4. If the black captures right here, we want to move our bishop somewhere. You can king h3, I guess. We the point of taking with the knight is so you get rid of the bishop that controls this diagonal. You know, this bishop. So if we take it, they don't take our bishop back. You know, we've got the bishop pair now. We've got a little bit of an advantage because the bishops do a really good job controlling these files. Um, so Racing Kings, I'd say, is definitely a very addictive game. You know, there's just so much action. Like if we get a standard line in King G3, something like this, right? I mean, their king is already the white king is looking to already get to this 8th rank, and this king still hasn't even done anything yet. You've sacked your queen. You got a little bit of counterplay. I mean, it's just a really fast-paced game with a lot. I mean, a lot can happen, right? Because the whole point is to move our king 8 times, 7 times. So, you know, if we get into something like this, you know, black constantly has to play a square down. They always have to think one step ahead about what to do. Um, you know, and then knight capture c2 isn't when you're playing knight capture c2, your goal isn't it's more positional than it is moving your king as fast as you can, and that's and for the new guys, you know, watching this or even some lower rated players, it's not always about trying to move your king right up the board as fast as possible. You've got to be able to get your bishops out right. So if we're in this bishop d4 line, now I can play knight c3 right here because now I got both these bishops. Remember that this can't happen because it would be check. You know, no check rule is very important, and yeah. Um, I mean, it's got some wild end games too. You'll find that when you play. I mean, small mistakes can be punished very easily. Um, we'll look at a game I had recently against Danny. It's a game I lost. Is this one right? So I play King D3. I get back into the main line. I play a little side line. You know, Rook B7. It's a cute idea. Um, we get back kind of to like the main line thing, and I just you see I'm making these small inaccuracies, which is just making he's already plus 2.5, and I haven't made a mistake yet. I've just had two in, well that blunder, but it didn't matter. Really, just had two inaccuracies. And then, I mean, I have this big blunder right here, right? But I mean, my position looks fine, but we just kind of forget. I start going for material and whatnot, and I mean, he's got mate in two. Even though there is no checkmate, we refer to getting your king to the 8th rank as mate. Us Racing Kings players is kind of how we talk. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to go over what Racing Kings is. You know, maybe for some of you guys who haven't ever played it before, uh, this is your chance to start. I mean, it's a really fun game. And very short too, so you can play a lot in a short amount of time. And I mean, yeah. So thanks for tuning into the video. You're new here, like, subscribe, comment. If you want a full theory series, comment. If you want me to post more breakdowns, comment. I'm willing to do what the comments say. So just kind of let me know in the comments. And yeah, thanks for tuning in.